Welcome viewers to the Saturday, February 18th edition of the 284 News Weekend Roundup. I'm Jacka Whitting bringing you our top stories from this week. Thank you so much for joining us. Leading our broadcast, some statutory boards across the territory remain uncooperative in providing key information to reviewers who have been appointed as part of the implementation process of the Commission of Inquiry Report recommendations. That's according to Governor John Rankin. Kamal Haynes has more.
This is according to His Excellency Governor John Rankin, who made a statement at a press conference on Tuesday as he updated the public on his second quarterly review report, which was sent to the United Kingdom government.
My report also notes three particular areas of concern. First, a lack of cooperation from some statutory boards to requests for information from reviewers. Second, the continued delay in the adoption of a protocol for appointments to statutory boards. Such a protocol needs to address the unfettered discretion of ministers that has existed in this area, which the Commissioner, in the Commission of Inquiry report, noted had resulted in, I quote, overt manipulation, unquote, by the executive of certain boards. In my first quarterly review, I expressed my concern that the protocol had not been prioritised and it has still not been adopted. I hope this omission will be resolved very shortly in a way that ensures that board appointments are made in an open and transparent fashion and in accordance with clear and objective criteria.
The governor did not disclose the names of the statutory boards that have been impeding the process, but said they fell under the responsibility of reviewers Jamal Smith and Sheila Brathwaite.
These are in relation to the reviews of statutory boards being carried out by Mr. Jamal Smith and Ms. Sheila Brathwaite. I know that in relation to the former review, there are a good number of statutory boards who have not yet responded, did not respond to the request he made for information. Once his report is published, which I hope will happen very shortly, then you and others will be able to see his further findings in that respect.
So you don't know which boards they are at this stage?
Until such time as the report is tabled as necessary in Cabinet and then published, it would be wrong of me to preempt. But yes, I am aware myself of those statutory boards.
Well, Governor Rankin also informed the public that less than half of the COI recommendations have been implemented to date. He said the majority of the recommendations that have already been implemented falls under his responsibility.
The fact is that fewer than half of the Commission of Inquiry recommendations have so far been implemented. And many of those which have been implemented are matters which fall under my responsibility as Governor. For example, the criminal investigations that are taking place. There have also been a number of delays in taking forward specific recommendations, and revised deadlines are currently under consideration. Moreover, as far as the reviews and audits that have been received are concerned, it's important to note that they are merely the start of a process on which further action is required.
Rankin also explained to the public that while some of the deadlines were realistic but just delayed, others had justifiable reasons for their tardiness.
Some of the deadlines, I think, were realistic but have simply been missed. So in particular, the protocol for appointments to statutory boards should have been with us before the end of last summer. I flagged my concern about the delay in relation to my first quarterly review in October, and that has still not been resolved, and hence I have emphasised again my hope that that will be resolved very shortly indeed. In other areas, there have been understandable reasons for delay. For example, it has taken some time to identify some of the reviewers, to take forward the reviews, and it's only recently that the announcement was made that Mr. Kedrick Malone has been asked to take forward the review in relation to residency and belongership. And so clearly a shift in the deadline there will be required, I believe, to the end of October has been proposed. The Honourable Premier has written to me on the subject of those changed deadlines, and I hope to respond to him shortly.
Reporting for 284 News, I am Kamal Haynes.
Meanwhile, Territorial at-Large Representative Honorable Shireen FLAX Charles has resigned from the Virgin Islands Party. The junior Minister for Trade and Economic Development, Agriculture and Fisheries made the announcement via a statement issued to the media on Sunday, February 12th. Kamal Haynes has more.
What a statement from the media release said, and I quote, "It is known I never abandoned the job, so let the question go answered. I am seeking re-election to continue the effort which has been entrusted to me. If it is the people's will, I will continue to be their voice and champion even if I stand alone. While I am grateful for both the triumphs and the obstacles which I encountered along the way, it is clear to me that at this stage I must part ways with the Virgin Islands Party. As of today, I have tendered my resignation," end quote. Well, during an interview with 284 Media earlier today, the at-large representative said that her decision to resign from the Virgin Islands Party was very difficult, but one that was needed since her views and that of the party do not align at this present moment.
It was a hard decision over many moons, and my values and the way that I think and my actions just don't line up with that of the Virgin Islands Party anymore. I came into the space expecting one thing, and it did not turn out that way. Of course, the representing a country is a major task, and I expected it to be tough. But I would just simply say that we parted ways because we were not on the same page.
The junior minister said her decision to resign from the Virgin Islands Party was not as a result of last week's decision by the VIP Congress to reject her application to contest in the upcoming election as a VIP. Our Premier Dr. the Honourable Natalia Wheatley stated during the VIP press conference that FLAX Charles' application was rejected since it did not satisfy the provisions of the VIP Congress Constitution.
No, it wasn't. What I would say is that I am a stickler for following rules. I try my very best to follow the rules, and I'm not certain why that decision was made or why they came about to the public with what was brought forth. What I would say is that I've read the Constitution over and over for the Virgin Islands Party, and I followed it to the T. Mm-hmm. So. But what I would say to you, Kamal, is that over the last couple of years, I've always been the person to stand up, even though I was standing alone. Mm. And if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for everything and anything. And my decision was made very clear based on the fact that we are not aligned with the principles of where I see the country needs to go and how we need to get there.
The at-large representative is adamant that she followed the rules set out in the VIP Congress when submitting her application prior to the Congress election, which was held recently.
Like I said, everyone has a right to say what they need to say to defend their actions, and I based my decision I keep what I've said in the statement to be true and correct. And yes, I did speak with members of the party, senior members, and things did not go in the way that I think they might have expected, or maybe I might have expected, but certainly I think it is very clear that I follow rules to the T. And misinterpretations, you know, that these documents, the language can be very heavy. But I am quite certain that what I read is exactly how I proceeded, and I followed it to a T.
Despite her firm stance, the VIP executive has expressed in a subsequent statement to the media that it stands by their statement that the paperwork submitted by Honorable FLAX Charles did not satisfy the party's requirements. Reporting for 284 News, I am Kamal Haynes.
And with that, we take a quick word from our sponsors. Stay with us because there's more when we return.
There are many ways to enjoy life, like so many ways to count on Popular.
Is someone gonna get that?
Hello.
Hello. So nice of you to have cleaned up for us. Hi, baby.
We're like in-laws that don't show up unannounced.
Don't worry. I've got this.
CG Insurance. Good like that.
Hun, it's asking for your password.
Huh?
You were logged out. I need the password.
BR,
What's the rest?
BRANDI, the number 4, EVER?
Who's Brandy?
We're like the password that isn't your ex-girlfriend's name. CG Insurance. Good like that.
I should have changed it.
You should have.
You're right.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Minister for Social Development, Honorable Marlon PENN, believes that in order to address the cost of living crisis, the government must create avenues for Virgin Islanders to build wealth. This as he admits that raising minimum wage has not been a topic of discussion for him during this national unity government. More in this report. Is anyone in the government of the Virgin Islands looking at increasing minimum wage? Minister for Social Development, Honorable Marlon PENN, says it is a necessary discussion, but not one he has had in this unity government. PENN spoke during a recent appearance on a radio talk show. There, he said that there needs to be serious thought on what it costs to live a decent life in the Virgin Islands.
It's not a discussion that I've had in this unity government, but I think it's a discussion that we need to have going forward. We need to look at a living wage. One of the things that we've discussed with this new transformation of the grant program at social development is that what is a living wage in the BVI? For instance, right now we're offering persons some assistance, but it's based on some thinking 12 plus years ago that someone decided, okay, we just give something a month and this is what we're giving for rent, this is what we're giving for so, but we haven't really looked at what does it cost to live in the BVI. So for instance, you may have someone who's making $24,000 a year, say $2,000 a month. You would say, okay, this should be all right. This should be able to, but in the BVI, rent is $1,200 a month. If they have kids, they have to pay for daycare. They have to pay for.
It's more than 50%.
So you're looking at a situation where persons might seem to be gainfully employed, but they fall in the category of working poor. So you have to, those persons will still need to get some type of support or some type of assistance if they're going to live a decent life in the country.
PENN noted that it is imperative that efforts are made to strengthen the economic base of the territory and present opportunities for Virgin Islanders to not just live, but to build wealth.
But this is a whole economic issue that we're speaking about as well. I think one of the areas that we looked at was to put an engine that will help drive economic development, economic regulation, economic administration, and that was with the Trade Commission, which all the policy work was done, the legislation was prepared, they had the Investment Promotion Agency, the Consumer Protection Agency, and a new Business Licensing Act that will help to drive economic growth and economic development in the country. Like for instance, if we're going to go into new industries, you have to be well researched in those industries. Know what are the spin-off business opportunities for those industries to ensure that your people are prepared to capitalize off of those spin-off in those industries. Even within the existing industries, there are opportunities that we're not capitalizing on. And there's an opportunity for us through an agency like a Trade Commission to figure out what those opportunities are. On the issue of making sure that if the government is given a particular relief or some kind of program or incentive for a business, you have to ensure there's a converse economic benefit to the consumers as well. So you cannot just give economic relief and then there's the economic base or the consumer base continues to struggle even more. So that's monies that are coming out from the treasury, coming out from the public purse, that is not
going to the business, but not going to the worker.
Not going to the worker, or not even going to developing some of the shortfalls that you have as a country as well. Your infrastructural needs, education needs, and those things. I think that the key to driving this is, one, rebuilding and strengthening your economic base. Two, persons that then have more opportunity to earn within the economy. Then you have an opportunity now to be able to offer more incentives to businesses, so businesses can be more efficient, and also offer more opportunities for persons within the public service who are offering these services within the sectors.
In order to realize this, he stressed that there must be an unwavering effort to get the Trade Commission up and running.
What I will say is that the last thing I heard is that they were selecting someone for the board of the Trade Commission. I believe that entity is too critical for us. We have to move expeditiously to get that up and running, because I think it's very important, because our economic base is being eroded, and we need to stabilize in terms of the economic side of things, have a focused approach in terms of how we're going to move our economy forward.
For 284 News, I am Jacko Whitting. Although the Road Town Market Square is now in operation, works continue to see through the facility as it was visualized in the original project. The government anticipates spending an additional $400,000 along the way. More in this report. Despite being open for business as of February 13, 2023, the Road Town Market Square is not yet completed. This, as explained by Minister for Communications and Works Honorable Kai RYMER, is due to some outstanding construction works and installations required on the site.
A bus shelter will be constructed in the open area adjacent to the road, with benches to accommodate up to 25 persons and serve as a central point for passengers to gather for collection by the bus operators. Each kiosk will be enclosed with hurricane-rated shutters, and these shutters, when open, will provide shelter for patrons from rain, sun, and as to how they will be designed.
While RYMER did not provide a specific timeline for when these final areas will be addressed, he did indicate that contractors are seeking to complete the bus shelter in short order. At the point of opening, the project had cost the government of the Virgin Islands just over $1.3 million.
A total of $1,305,314.06 has been committed to this project, which spans a total of 4 budget cycles. So we have been through 4 budget cycles to get where we are today.
At completion, RYMER anticipates that the total cost of this project will be $1.7 million. For 284 News, I am Jacko Whitting. Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley has rubbished allegations that his government is attempting to give the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force powers that can be abused through the Police Act 2023. Wheatley says he is the last person in the Virgin Islands who would do such given his own experience with police abuses. More in this report. Amid turmoil surrounding the heightened powers that the Police Act 2023 seeks to grant to the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force, Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley has distanced himself from allegations that the territory's leadership is opening the gates for abuses of those powers by law enforcement. After announcing the postponement of the second and third readings of the bill, Wheatley defended himself against those allegations by stating that he is, quote, the last person in the Virgin Islands that would grant the police powers that could be abused, end quote. Wheatley owed this greatly to having experienced abuse of power at the hands of law enforcement at 3 distinctive points in his life, both at home in the Virgin Islands and abroad. The first incident, he recalled, occurred while he was navigating Road Town as a teenager.
In 1996, I was walking down the street one late night in Road Town. A Jeep pulled next to me, and a man jumped out and pointed a gun at my head and told me to get on the ground. Madam Speaker, I couldn't be any more than 16 years old at the time. He cuffed me, put me in the back of the Jeep, and took me to the police station for questioning. After realizing that I was not who they thought I was released.
The second incident, which has in recent years become a tale too often replicated on too many, occurred at the hands of United States of America law enforcement and landed him an undeserved stay in detention.
While studying in Atlanta in 1999, a police officer gave me a traffic ticket that I thought was unjust. I protested, that's a nice way of putting it, and he said if I said one more word, I would spend the night in jail. I continued protesting, that's a nice way of saying it, and he arrested me, and I indeed spent the night in jail.
His third experience occurred in the United Kingdom, when he was again wrongfully identified and accused of a crime by police officers.
While studying in the United Kingdom in 2004, I had an encounter while visiting a friend's home. Two police officers in plain clothes approached me and accused me of carrying a crowbar in my school bag that I used to break into people's homes. I thought that this was an outrageous accusation and refused to be searched. The two officers then jumped on me and we had a struggle for about 20 minutes. They managed to get me down and cuff me. They called for backup, and there were about 9 officers who surrounded me and were pushing me around the circle. When an onlooker walked by, they finally left, but not before emptying my school books out of my bag onto the pavement.
Wheatley stressed that he does not support such abuses by law enforcement and has stood publicly, as possibly the only Virgin Islander to lead a march in London against a death in police detention, to express his disapproval. For 284 News, I am Jacques Wooding. And with that, we take a quick word from our sponsors. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got here. My name is Kamal Haynes. Most of you know me from 284 News, but now you get to see me in a different light on my very own show called Health is Wealth. We have Joel Turnbull.
I don't want you to arch your back when you're pulling down.
Milton McLean.
First of all, right, your footwork.
Stephen Payne.
That was a 9 out of 10. I know you got the service down pat.
Steve Augustine.
You did a pretty hard workout today, so perhaps...
And as you can see, it's actually
you're feeling it.
Lonzo Boynes.
Taekwondo.
Adam Murrows.
I'll speak as if you're an absolute beginner.
I am an absolute beginner.
You are an absolute beginner.
And Seth Graham.
It bites. It will bite.
Get your water, get your fruits and veggies, and experience a wealth of knowledge about getting healthy.
Is that my lunch? Is that my lunch?
We're like the coworker that doesn't eat your lunch.
I'm John. I'm John.
CG Insurance. Good like that.
Thank you so much for staying with us. Honorable RYMER was celebrated for his impressive track record over the past few years as the government welcomed his ministry's latest achievement, the Road Town Market Square. More in this report. Action Man 2.0. That's the name that Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley has bestowed upon Minister for Communications and Works Honorable RYMER in the wake of his ministry's achievement of opening the Road Town Market Square. According to Wheatley, over the past 4 years, RYMER has excelled despite skepticism of his ability to perform in his ministry, and he has left a track record that speaks for itself.
I want to take this opportunity to really celebrate the good works of the Minister of Communications and Works and Deputy Premier, Honorable RYMER. Because I have to let you know that I have a great deal of admiration for him. Certainly, 4 years ago, perhaps some persons maybe had some questions as to whether he was the right man for the job. But I don't think anybody right now can have any questions in their mind when you look at the performance of Honorable RYMER over the past 4 years.
Referencing some of the accomplishments made by the ministry while under RYMER's responsibility, Wheatley charged Virgin Islanders to take notice of the work that has been done.
Area of his portfolio, and he has been able to advance those areas. When you look at water, Honorable RYMER has built reservoirs left and right and has improved our storage capacity. And certainly, God willing, if given the opportunity, I know he's going to help us fix our distribution network. When you look at electricity, biggest solar project in the BVI's history that has helped us to go green over in Anegada, where we'll be providing over 90% of the electricity in Anegada through renewable sources, mainly solar. When you look at roads, Honorable RYMER has bought every piece of equipment needed to advance our road. He bought the mill, he bought the paver, he bought the mobile asphalt machine, and we have signature projects like the Fish Bay Road that will be a template for all the roads to come that has proper drainage, proper substructure, properly engineered roads. When it comes to traffic, he's eliminated traffic in Road Town. He has put tertiary roads. He's put turning lanes. He's put in additional roads to improve the traffic.
Acknowledging the presence of Action Man himself, Honorable Mark Vanterpool, Wheatley said that his passing on of the baton was an opportunity to confer responsibilities onto younger strength. He also took the opportunity to give Vanterpool his flowers for his contributions to Road Town's development.
But of course, this is a model, and I have to also celebrate Honorable Vanterpool, who, of course, he came with the pear pack. And you had these vending stations at the pear pack, which I believe present a great opportunity for our young entrepreneurs to be able to take their business idea and to be able to advance it.
For 284 News, I am Jacques Wooding. And viewers, that is all we have for you today in today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com. Like us on Facebook at 284BVI and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Jacques Wooding, and I will see you again next week. So have yourself a safe and enjoyable weekend. Goodbye.
Is business slow, cash flow down, hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com.
To the computer, you just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.